Get ready for a slew of headlines and lots of Woj bombs. NBA free agency begins in just over a week. Next Sunday at 6 o'clock Eastern, all the Ks are in play. KD, Kawhi, Klay, Kemba, Kyrie, all with the potential to shift teams. And, of course, the balance of power in the NBA, Jay.
Hannah, but Jimmy Butler, DeMarcus Cousins, and Al Horford will also be on the market. The Jump Crew now taking a deep dive into the headlines and under-the-radar storylines in NBA free agency.
Welcome into our Jump studios here. Rachel Nichols with Brian Windhorst and Kendrick Perkins. Guys, we know free agency is coming. We've heard all of the drum beats. Kevin Durant, where's he going? Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard. But let's go past that first very top layer. Who are you most interested in seeing where they go in this free agency? What are you going to be watching for?
I'm going to be watching for Jimmy Butler, Julius Randle. I think those guys, I want to see where those guys land. Also, I want to also see what Marc Gasol do. He's going to be key, but the biggest sleeper is I want to see what Julius Randle do. I think he's played really, really extremely well over the past couple of years, and I think he can have a major impact on the team.
Well, Philadelphia is going to have a big 24 to 48 hours at the start of free agency. Are they really going to max out Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris?
Right.
And if they try to mess around, will Tobias Harris go somewhere else? And let's not forget about J.J. Redick. He is an in-demand player. Will they lock him down, or could he go somewhere? Maybe the L.A. Lakers would be on him. So Philadelphia is going to be a big, big factor.
I mean, J.J. Redick almost didn't stick in Philadelphia last summer.
That's right.
They had a very big back and forth. It will be interesting. Now, Elton Brand has said that he has full approval from ownership to max out both those guys if he wants to, if they think that's the right direction. They have
I'll congratulate them if they do.
There's going to be a musical chairs scramble for these top free agents. There's multiple teams out there that think that they have the inside track on Kevin Durant. There's multiple teams that want Kyrie Irving. There's at least 2 teams that think they're the ones that Kawhi Leonard is going to sign with. And all those guys can only sign in one place. And if I'm Jimmy Butler, I'm one of the guys who's in the next wave of saying, oh, you couldn't get so
unless he gets a 5-year max out of the gate
from Philadelphia.
But I agree. But I do think that Jimmy, he deserved a max, but I do think Jimmy want to be in a position where he also wants to win the title.
Yeah.
He's not getting younger, so that's going to take a major play. And you know, it has been reports that he's been unhappy with his role in Philadelphia under Brett Brown. So he hasn't been just the happiest guy for us getting his touches, and you know, he's been now a third option to Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, which probably should be the second option, and Ben Simmons should be the third option.
I watched 2 teams that tried to trade for him last summer, or last season, Houston and Miami. Now, it's extraordinarily complicated what they would have to do to get him, but if he shows an interest in maybe not staying with Philadelphia, smoke and mirrors will be produced to try to make it happen.
Smoke and mirrors in Miami?
Smoke and mirrors.
Never. Gas. I didn't know there was gambling in this establishment. Thank you so much for joining us. Free agency, it's coming.
Yes, it is. Thanks, y'all. Murray State's Ja Morant went #2 overall to the Grizzlies in the NBA draft. He had a great emotional moment with his dad during his interview with Maria Taylor, and he met the Memphis media yesterday. Took some time to praise longtime point guard Mike Conley, who was traded to Utah.
I don't think it's no pressure, but obviously I have some big shoes to fill from Mike Conley. He's a great player. I wish him the best, and I just want to thank Memphis Grizzlies as a whole for believing in me and having that trust in me to pick me and put me in the position that I'm in. Obviously, coming from what I came from, like my story, I'm always play with that chip on my shoulder, and I'm not going to try to force anything. I'm going to just go out and continue to try to play my game and do whatever I can to help the team.
Well, he's a great story, and I was there on Thursday night. It was great to see him actually cheered by the New York crowd, right, for once.
Yes.
Your #3 pick, R.J. Barrett, and he was introduced to the New York media yesterday, and from what we've seen, what do you think?
He's going to be a really good fit for that city.
He is.
Really good fit.
Yeah?
One of us really likes to drop the French phrases on this show.
Yeah. And one of us was very impressed by the fluency of the Canadian star, seamlessly answering a question en français on draft night.
Olivier Paradis-Lemieux, Radio-Canada. D'abord, félicitations, RJ. Je vais me permettre une question en français.
OK.
Quand tu as entendu ton nom être prononcé par Adam Silver, quelle était vraiment la première pensée que tu as eue de savoir que tu allais vraiment aux Knicks, comme tu m'avais dit que tu voulais, que tu souhaitais en fait donc poursuivre ta carrière de ce côté?
J'étais très excité. Je suis finalement dans la NBA et j'ai pleuré beaucoup. Mes parents ont pleuré beaucoup, mais je suis très content d'être ici. That was nice, wasn't it?
Yay, c'était très bien. He's already winning.
Yeah, he is.
Right?
He can say stuff about the New York media, like, what'd he say? He's like, don't worry about what.
Yeah, no, he said happy to be here. I was excited. You guys, he spent time in like 5 countries growing up. He has an extended family, came to New York every summer. It seems like a great fit.
He seems ready to face the Big Apple. But is he ready to face his former teammate?
Oh, yeah, good question, because his first action is going to be against his former Duke teammate as the Knicks and the Pelicans face off July 5th at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. Barrett v. Zion, their summer league debut in Vegas. Somebody was thinking about that. For more on what's happening in New Orleans, here's Malika Andrews.
Well, Hannah, after a meal with Coach Alvin Gentry, Zion is coming here to Goretti Playground, where he's going to be attending a ribbon cutting of this refurbished court that I'm standing on. And he's also going to be playing basketball with 108 to 10-year-olds that are from the area. And some of them are so excited that they are already here a couple hours before the event is set to begin. They're playing football on the field next to me. And remember that the Pelicans have emphasized family since Zion got here. It's something that is important to their values. It's something that's important to Zion. Remember, he has a little brother, Noah, that he talks about all the time, that is always around. So it seems to be the perfect event to welcome Zion into the community, is having something with kids. And also, it's not every day that these kids get to meet a basketball superstar like Zion. So it's going to be a special day for everybody.
With the first pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Zion Williamson from Duke University.
Don't even seem real that I just shook his hand. I dreamed about this since I was 4, and for it to actually happen.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to your new team and family in New Orleans?
Let's dance. Let's dance.
There's a whole story behind that, by the way. But Zion Williams held his introductory news conference in New Orleans, the Phenom pick #1 overall on Thursday, bringing some high expectations to the Pelicans, but echoed the comments of David Griffin. And he said everybody just needs to pump the brakes a little bit.
I think people are kind of like doing a bit much. I am 18. I haven't even played one game yet. So I look at it just like that. Like, I'm just trying to come contribute to the team. Whatever the vets need me to do, I'm ready to do it.
How many text messages have come into your phone in the last 24 hours? And who are you hearing from, people you haven't heard from in 10 years? Or what's the nature of those types of texts?
Wow, we're just jumping into it. Well, if I'm being honest, not too many, because I recently changed my phone number.
Smooth move.
Yeah, veteran move. Meanwhile, Zion's running buddy at Duke, R.J. Barrett, went 3rd overall to the New York Knicks. There was no Porzingis moment. The crowd went crazy. Yesterday, R.J. met the media in the Big Apple, who asked if his shoulders were ready to carry the franchise.
Carry? I wouldn't say carry. I'd say there's going to be a great group of guys that are going to be together. And, we're all excited to play for Coach Fizdale. And this is the biggest stage. So, yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to play. But, I haven't even played a game yet. So how are you going to ask me a question like that?
Welcome to New York.
Another great answer.
He handled that well. We have another great moment from him coming up at the mic.
Looking forward to it. The Knicks projected to have upwards of $70 million in cap space when free agency starts next Sunday, thanks to cheap contracts for young players like Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, and now rookie R.J. Barrett. Our Bobby Marks has more on that.
When you look at the New York Knicks, a team that is going to have $70 million in cap space, there are two different directions this team will go. They will certainly meet with Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, and Kyrie Irving. But what happens if they don't get any of the 3 players? What New York will look to do is focus on player development, build around R.J. Barrett, and look towards the future when this team could have potentially $80 million in cap space next season. It's not all or nothing for New York's, but it is about Durant, Irving, and Leonard, or shifting the gears for a rebuild.
Kawhi Leonard is a machine. Flushes over Giannis. I'm unforgettable. Yellowstone's on a dive. Durant for three. It's good. Kevin Durant. Oh, he puts it in. Thompson turning and shooting. What a shot by Klay Thompson. I'm unforgettable. Kyrie. Oh, and a pass. Oohs and eyes from the crowd. Putting on a show with the ball here. Bam, it's good. I'm unforgettable.
Just 1 week from tomorrow, the drama begins with huge names with the potential to change teams this summer in the NBA. And a lot of those names happen to begin with the letter K. Kawhi, Kyrie, Klay, KD, and Kemba, headlining the NBA free agency market beginning at 6 o'clock next Sunday. But before that happens, there are some moves to be made and some hardware to hand out. And it all begins on Monday, the NBA holding its awards show in Los Angeles, the MVP race, with three finalists, Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, and Paul George. And then Wednesday, reality sets in for Raptors fans. That is the deadline for Kawhi Leonard to opt in to his player option. Then on Saturday, the same player option deadline for a couple of other big names, Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler. KD, as you know, could miss all of next season while recovering from that ruptured Achilles. Then Sunday, 6 p.m. sharp, all the madness begins. Free agency starts, and Bobby Marks with more on which team might be an X factor.
When you look at the summer of 2019, there is one team that we're not talking about, and that's the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas with Rookie of the Year, likely Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, who's a restricted free agent, could have $30 million in cap space to go after a player like Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, or even Al Horford. We'll learn in the next week how important the Luka Doncic effect is in Dallas.
Luka Doncic, one of the great young talents
I'd want to play
in the NBA. Yeah, well, of course. I mean, look at the upside with that franchise, and you look at the most projected cap space. Mavericks coming in at number 6, $28.8 million this summer.